Hey guys, I hope all is well. I wanted to shoot this video. I'm gonna do a lot more videos on exactly what I'm doing, but this is the gold signal that I have for today. And today is November the 3rd, okay? And I guess I can go to Google so you can see the time now, and EST. Alright, so you see it is 6:34 a.m. Monday, November the 3rd, 2025. And so I've got an entire hour before I can actually implement this signal here, because the signal is for 7:30, or sorry, 7:42 a.m. You notice that it says Jupiter outer and it says Pisces Lagna. So what I'm able to figure out, I have some advanced blueprints, or some of you might say AI prompts, that I've created. And this is like PDFs full of specific prompts that I use in order to juice up my AI. And what I've been understanding is that with AI, you have to train it like a brain. You know, each one of these threads that you have off here to the left hand side is like a thread to, and you do your decoding in every single thread on different topics. Specifically, you can see that I have like a diary over here, so this is all general stuff that I talk about. Then I'm also working on decoding crypto, so I'm starting off with ETH, and I've been decoding gold for a while. So um, not only am I using metaphysical law and different angles that I use to measure these, this times and the time zones and that, but I'm also using astrology on top of this. So it's not your typical astrology. I'm into Indian astrology. I also do some zodiac stuff, some Chinese zodiac, some. Uh, it's like a whole strategy behind this where I use a soul alignment. Okay, in order to get the accuracy that I need on my trades on a weekly basis, there are certain days that everybody's aligned to get the most accuracy, because it's all based on when you were born. So when you go to your ChatGPT, and I have this in my free course, link should be in the description or in the comment section, but you're supposed to connect your soul contract with your ChatGPT. So the way that you do that is you have to create your soul blueprint, and the way that you create a soul blueprint is just by entering or setting up a new thread. And you enter your soul blueprint. So that's your government name, right? I go by Tobias Kayuth because Tobias Kayuth is my oversoul name that I figured out. And I go into great detail on my course what an oversoul name is, but I'm going to put in my government name. Then you're going to put in your birthday. Place you were born. You're going to put in the time that you were born if you have it. It's very important. If you can get that info, it really helps out. And then you're going to ask, please create my soul blueprint. Okay. So it's going to tell you all basically your soul's frequency, like Everybody's different, right? This is based on how much information you fed into your chat GPT. Uh, life path number, all of these different things are very important. Number life path 8 makes sense, right? Soul lesson, true wealth is spiritual alignment expressed through structure, higher calling, karmatic contract, North Node in Taurus, so on and so on and so on. Now, I give you guys what I call like a 17-point system. I use 17 different points to measure how the soul contract is built. And so whenever you enter that into the chat, you have all of the extra information that I have here that allows you to have an in-depth soul blueprint. The whole mission behind everything that I'm doing is not just to help you guys to make money with your soul contract and learning what your alignment days are, right? But it's also to help you to understand about yourself and what your mission here is on Earth. So when you enter this type of information into your chat, there's a and you have to have the paid version. You can't use this on the basic free version. It won't work. Once you get the paid version, you're gonna be able to utilize it the way I'm doing it. But you can see that my power numbers is 1, 4, and 8. So any day that adds up to 1, 4, or an 8 is gonna allow me to be in alignment that day. And that's where my accuracy comes from. So if today's the 1st, if today's the 4th, if today's the 8th, if today is the 17th of the month, it also depends on like the day of the month. So now we're in November, which is the 11th month, and today's the 3rd, right? So 11 plus 3 equals 14, right? So, but 1 plus 4 equals 5. And then we also have the year, which is 2025. And this is basic numerology, 2025. But anything that adds up to a 9, right? 2000, so 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. Anything that is times by or added up by 9 is gonna equal out the same thing in the end. So if I took the 1 plus 3 equals 4, and then I got confused. Okay, so 11 plus 3 equals 14, right? So that's 1 plus 4 plus 9. So that would be 5 plus 9. You still equal out to 14, which equals back to 5. So anything, because 9 is the end of the chain. That's the highest number. You know how they say 10, 11, 12. Like those are, it's like starting back over again. So number 9 is the end. So that's how I come up with the day's number would be a 5. I wouldn't be in alignment today to 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 do certain things, right? But I would say in trading, it's a little bit different. You could still get around getting a high percentage of win rate if you're trading. But if you're doing like whenever you get my cosmic alignment blueprint, I have blueprints for sports bets, and you have to be extremely accurate when it comes to sports betting. You don't want to bet on your non-alignment days because you'll get a higher percentage of losses because there's more variance in sports bets than it is with trading because you can hold trades longer. You can get around some of the subtleties of not being in alignment when you're trading. Okay, which most of you probably came to this video because you want to learn how to trade. But I have this formula for sports bets. I have this formula for obviously figuring out your soul blueprint. You can even ask like what is, and this is the most important part, what is my mission? I know you guys want to make money, so that's why like I created this not just to help you to connect your soul to like your blueprint to make sure that you're in alignment every day. This is not just about making money every day. or on your alignment days. There's days that you connect with your family. There's days that you're more prone to, network on certain days where you're gonna have the most success networking or taking business calls or conversations, meetings, masterminds, those types of things. So this will connect with all the information you've been sharing with your chat GPT. And inside my course, I actually give you these intake forms to help you to start giving chat GPT more information. It's not going to pull more than what you're willing to give. Like, it's going to give you the basic information and layout based on your soul's blueprint, like your life path number, your Chinese zodiac sign, your human design information, numerology number breakdown, your alignment days. Um, it's going to know like real basic information. It's still eye opening to know this, and you can keep going diving deeper. But you need to feed it your traumas. Okay, you need to feed it your traumas. So things that happened to you as a kid, relationships that you've had that were detrimental, any type of trauma whatsoever. Once you start feeding that information into the chat, the same chat like I just created here, it's going to start going even more in depth and giving you more information about your soul. Even goes back, like if you wanted to know, um, like what other past lives did I live. And I'm not trying to make this video too long, but I feel like the first video is super important so you understand like the magnitude of this system. It's not just about getting signals from ChatGPT. It's actually connecting with your soul. It's connecting with the moon phases. It's connecting with astrology and planetary movement. It's not just about oh, the moon is in waxing. Oh, the moon is in the full. It's a full moon. It's a new moon. There's other planets that influence people's emotions on certain days and certain hours. So when I talk about the aura, that means that's the hour of the day. There's a planetary, there's a planet that rules for that hour. There's a planet that rules for the day, and then every day of the week has its own planetary day. So for example, Monday, or I can actually ask this here. What are the planetary days of the week? So Sunday is the sun, right? Monday is moon. Tuesday is Mars. Wednesday is Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Saturn. But we also have something called the nakshatra, and that is the ruler. There's other, these planets also have a rule, like they rule over certain days of the week. So even though today might be Monday, Moon Day, their Jupiter might, for example, be ruling over Monday. So you have to understand what enemy planet, like if is the Moon an enemy of Jupiter, and if it's enemy of Jupiter, then the Jupiter hours will give you a different type of experience, right? It might be some cell positions that you can get into because it's Jupiter hours of the day, right? So these are things to be aware of. That's how I'm able to measure each and every day, or a day in advance. I actually up to 72 hours in advance I can get this information on what I'm going to do in the markets for that day for whatever instrument that I'm looking to trade. This also has to do with decoding as well. If you're using this and you want it to be super accurate, you don't want to just jump in here and start using the blueprint right away. You want to jump in here and start decoding it. Look at the markets. Like, what is the markets doing? You know, when you look, when you're looking to let's, because right now I've done gold, right, and I'm working on ETH right now. If you wanted to do crude oil, you go on crude oil and you start looking at when, what times that the market dips. I've gotten gold down to the point where I know what times of the day it's going to start to basically, get into a sell position. I know that around 7 or at the 25-minute mark of the hour, especially in the morning, it's going to start making its dip. 25 to about sometimes until the 45-minute mark in the hour, it starts to take a dip. And let's see if this is the same. If I go back, it's a little different for the weekends as well, but I'm sure you guys are going to get the point after a while. See, 8:25 a.m. It's taking a dip. 7:25, 30, it's taking a little dip. Now, these are quick shorts that you can get into, or you can avoid getting into the market until about the 45-minute mark on gold. I kept back testing this months and months and months back, and I've seen that like 80-90% of the time, especially at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, it does the same freaking move. Like, it does the same move. That's why I like gold, because it's pretty consistent, even though it can be volatile at times, in which by using ChatGPT in this way, with these advanced prompts, it's going to allow you to understand even more in depth, to understanding why there's news events that they plan around this too. The news events, it influences the fear in people, and it helps the market to really move. But they're not the ones that's moving the market. It's these planetary days and these planetary hours. So if you notice the big speeches back in the day, like Ronald Reagan and all that, they would speak on void of moon, like void of Vok moon, what like to call it. So void of course. So they would speak on these void of course days, because they know that people would forget on void of course days what's going on or whatever they said on those days. So they play into these planetary days, these planetary hours, and these moon phases whenever they have these speeches, and you'll notice that they're all lined up right around the same exact time that either a tweet goes out to use the energy of that day and that hour and that time to influence the market so that they can make moves in the market. So now that we know this information, we can get ahead of them, and we can start planning to understand, like, okay, they're going to make this move on this specific day. So for example, whenever Trump, there was like a time on October the 10th of this month or last month, where the markets dipped like stupid, right? I think we can take a better example would be if we went to S&P 500, and we'll scale back to October the 10th. I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but I'm just kind of doing it my way. Okay, that's the 13. We're getting, okay, so we passed it. So this big retarded dip right here on this day, whenever you see stuff like this in the market, you can go back and back test, and you just go back to your chat GPT and you ask, like, what happened, what moon, like, oh, that's the other thing. So the moon can be in a different zodiac sign. So the moon could be in Sagittarius. The moon could be in Jupiter. I mean, not Jupiter, but it could be in Aquarius. Right now, the moon is getting ready to go into Taurus. And if you ask ChatGPT, like certain zodiac signs will let you know if it's going to be bullish or it's going to be bearish for that particular day or that time frame where the full moon is getting ready to come into effect. So we're getting ready to have a full moon on the 5th of this month, and Taurus energy is going to be a bullish energy. So it's going to pull the markets up until the 5th, and then it's going to, after the 5th, it's going to start to make its way back down. And you'll notice this. And then you can start planning in advance. Okay, so since that's going to be the full moon, when is the new moon going to hit? And what zodiac sign is in the full moon? You come back to your chat and you ask, like, is this zodiac sign a bullish sign or a bearish sign? Or if you don't even know what zodiac is in the moon for that particular cycle, then you figure it out. Okay. So without giving everything away, like I'm trying to help you to understand that this stuff is not like a lot of technical traders will go in here and they'll like understand different concepts like price action, fair value gaps, stuff like that. They'll understand that and they'll get into marketing and do it, but they don't understand why the fair value gap is even forming. So if you have any type of like trading experience whatsoever, this is going to enhance your game by tenfold. You'll even start to anticipate that a fair value gap is gonna happen at a specific time, because you know it's going to be bullish or bearish at a certain time of the day. Then you're anticipating your move in the market. This is only to help your psychology that you already know using that from trading in general. So if you like to trade trend lines, whatever your strategy is, by using and plugging in your strategy into ChatGPT and then adding in these layers of the moon phases and the lugna, the planetary alignments, this allows you to become even more profitable and more confident in your moves, because you know where the market's going to go, and at certain times of the day. And everybody is different as well. If your strategy is to find fair value gaps, you can very well, your timing might be different than my timing, right? Even though I have a timing, for example, I think I showed you this. Even though I have a timing of 7:42 a.m. to enter in the market, your timing to get in the market might be different based on your strategy, right? I'm trading gold. You might be trading NASDAQ. You might be trading S&P 500. This might not be a bullish signal. This might be a bearish signal. Another thing that I like to do is I like to pull the bearish signal and the bullish signal for the day. That way I can line them up and stay away and stay out of the market on times where I know that the bearish signal is coming in. And if you like to trade fair value gaps or whatever, you're sort of gonna play off both the buy signal and the bearish signal to line it up to see what hours of the day, what times of the day that you be more likely getting into the market based on your own analysis. I've got people who are brand new to trading in general, and all they do is just either follow my signals until they get more comfortable, or they'll get in and they'll start trading based on the concepts that I'm teaching them on how to plug in and get these signals from their own chat. They'll take screenshots of like my information, and then they'll plug in the blueprints that I give them, not only for Forex, but we also have this for futures as well. The specific blueprint and all the planetary alignments, all the different measurements that I use with astrology in order for your chat to start to understand and calibrate your signals like it does for me here. So that you can notice on this today's signal, I have two entries I can get in at 7:40 2 to 8. It's a window of time, right? And remember what I said about gold, about 7:30 to about 7:45. Usually, it's in a it's in a sell position, and it's getting ready to get into a buy position around 7:45 to 8 o'clock, right? So I would get in for a buy position, but I have a chance to hold that buy position until 9 o'clock, right? 9:15, right? I don't want to. What I don't want to do is I don't want to stay in there until freaking 9:30 because I know it's going to take a dip. Now I would be taking a chance and seeing that if it would flow through that dip. I also have cautionary zone here. So I know that in this time, it's a Mercury enemy hour. So I would be getting out of the market specifically before this time because I know it could take a hard dip at that time. So and then my re-entry in the evening or mid evening would be 2:45 p.m. and this is all on Eastern Standard Time. And my exit window for the evening would be 15:30. So about an hour, depending on if this time actually lines up the 45-minute mark. I get in here and I ride this real close to. I don't want to stay in until the 30-minute mark. Like I said, even 25-minute mark, you start to see it dip. So I want to get out at the very top of this run here. So yeah, I'm gonna pause this part. I think I gave you guys enough information so you understand like the magnitude of this. It's not some basic take a screenshot of your chart. If you notice, I have not taken a screenshot of my charts. Like I don't even need to look at the charts in order to figure these signals out because it's mapping based on planetary alignment, moon phases, and zodiac. Like and then I have my 17 points. That's why I'm saying it's a 17-point protocol mixed with my enemy hour filter, mixed with my logna mapping, and you can do this for pretty much any instrument out there. Now, if you know specifics about a certain instrument and what it does on a day-to-day basis, that is the mapping part that makes it even more accurate whenever you're trading. So if you know it dips at a certain time of the day, if you know that you're used to getting in the market at a certain time of the day, you can feed it that information based on that. Okay. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and pause until it's time to trade. I'm gonna get into the market, trade here live on this video, and then you guys get an in-depth overview of the signals, how to use them, and how this actually works. The more of us that use this strategy, and you guys are in my Telegram group, once you purchase, the better, because then we could sort of like use each other's signals to see how they line up, and we can get extremely accurate in the market. And that's the whole point of having what I call group economics, is that we all can get together and map these things out. We can do this also for sports bets. If it's Super Bowl Sunday or whatever, we can run our alignment scores. If I'm not aligned for the day, but somebody in the group is aligned, but we all run our analysis, we can see what teams are going to win, and we can match up between all of us, and we'll get an even better chance of getting a higher percentage, because usually I get around 80% accuracy on my alignment days when I do sports bets, but with group economics we can get it really close to 90%. So which could be, it's a lot of money on the table. But like I said, my job here is to get you guys more profitable in your trading, get your finances up so that we can have a bigger vision behind all of this. And it's about sovereignty at the end of the day. It's helping people to get connected closer to God. It's helping people to understand their mission, their soul. It's helping people to understand their loops that they're looking to close. You keep looping around in different arguments and different relationships. You're attracting the same people. That's more of what this is about. It's so much more deeper than just making money. So enough of my rambling. I'm going to go ahead and pause. All right, so we're back now. It is about 7:24 p.m. or a.m. Sorry, and I'm gonna go ahead and log into my trading account. Now, I'm looking at the market now, and like I said before, it does do its drops around this time. Instead of just waiting to see how the market's going to react, um, and when it's actually going to start to get into a buy position, you can actually get into a sell position until that time arrives, right? So how that would look is, and I'm showing you this on the 1 minute time frame. If I go ahead and scale out, this is what it looks like, right? This is where we're at right now, 15-minute window. It needs to do a little bit of a dip before we actually get into this. So by knowing that, I would get into a real quick short position. Uh, we'll get into a sell position, and I would just ride that wave. Just let it sit. The closer that we get to 7:30, the harder it's going to push down into profit. take those quick profits. Now we're gonna wait until, so we still got another 15 more minutes. Or actually 12 more minutes. There it goes. Yeah, you do. The point is, like, if you know it's getting ready to go into a buy position, like, you don't want to be farting around and it's time staying in the trade for too long. It can definitely come, it can definitely start moving up at this time right now. It might not even wait until 7:45 in order for it to really start pushing up. But I just know from experience that from even from 7:20 to 7:25, it does do a significant push down. Okay, so same thing with 8:30, same thing with 9:30, or 9:20 to 9:30, 8:20 to 8:30. You know, you can pretty much rely on that little push down. Just get some real quick scalp smacks. You know, so if you go heavier on the lot size or you go heavier on your contract size, then you can get a lot more out of it. I'm also watching for it to hit the top of this range and see how it's reacting once it hits the top of the range that it's been in since when? Since 6:30. So this is the top. I could put like a little alert here. Name of the game is patience. I can't express that enough. Like, cause it's because you know where it's going. It's so much. It's so hard in times like right now not to get in there. But you would actually be getting at the top of the range. Right? And sometimes you may miss out on the trade because they played out a little bit earlier than we anticipated, and that's okay. That's the reason. Another reason why I grab this little scalp before I head into the trade. So I'm looking for it to reach. here. Right here. But it's got to play out first. So 7 minutes. What I would like to see in the 7 minutes, I would like to see it come down a bit more so that I can get in a better spot. Would have liked to gotten in here, obviously, but you know you can't get the whole thing. So like I said, it's very important to not get anxious and just let it play out, watch it. 3 more minutes. See what it's gonna do in this 3 minutes. Come on down. minutes. Now these signals are not meant for you to get right in at the on the button of time. Like if it's 7:42, you still gotta wait for your confirmation. Like I would love for it to come back down here and touch down here before I would get in on an entry. It's like the confirmation before the confirmation. We may not even get that. So now it's 7:42. Just gonna kind of watch it. Anything can happen in these next 3 minutes. There we go. Looking for something like that. Keep going. volume stepping in now. Shit, didn't move fast enough, but I think you guys get the point. This stuff is like extremely accurate. So all you gotta do is do your trailing stops and get the most out of it. I didn't set my take profit high enough. I knew it was gonna move like that, but yeah, I was trying to trail it as best I could. But you can sit here and watch it the rest of the time. I'm not gonna get back in unless it drops down significantly. Then I'll go ahead and get back in there. Or if it doesn't, then I'll go back. I'll get back in here at 9:02 to 9:17 and grab some more profits at the end of the day. But the summary for today, we made 500 on the account, which is cool. The challenge is not to get greedy with it. This is a PA account, so I don't do anything really risky with PA accounts. So I just kind of like build it up over time. So, and this is like I think you guys realize that this is Apex. With Apex, they have certain rules that you have to abide by. Like whenever you build up your safety net, which is about $2,600, once you get past 2,600, um, you can't go and draw down more than 30%. So if you're not using the proper risk management, you're not going to get the payout that you want going forward. But nonetheless, you don't want to treat this like you don't want to just rush to get payouts, right? You wanna be consistent every day with a certain amount of profits. The best way to scale this type of setup is to get more accounts and copy trade into those other accounts. It is not to go and try to squeeze 2 to 5 grand a day out of one account, because you can just overdo it. You're gonna over trade most times. You're gonna either over leverage to get the same amount every day, because you got to be kind of consistent. You can't have, you know, one day making $10,000 and then every other day in your trading days be like $500, right? You're not going to get the payout because it's not consistent. So that's why I say prop firms help to train you on becoming a better trader at the end of the day. So hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I guess you can go back and go on your charts and see how this day played out. I think I'm going to be done for the day unless I get back in here in another hour. I'll see where it's at in another hour, or if it dips down farther enough, I'll get in here on the second wing and I'll ride it up as high as I can ride it. But yeah, I try to go for 40 ticks into profit, and if I'm doing my shorts before I get into the long position, I usually take like 10-20 pips or ticks before I get into this trade. So 40 ticks. And just to be clear, this could be a 100-something tick move right here. If I would just had stayed in it and just let it run, I'm the type that will take my profits off the table every time. That's how I built my accounts up. That's how if I'm going for a prop firm to get to the funded stage, then I'll let it sit and I'll let it run and I'll pass it in a day or two, right? But other than that, when I have the PA account, it's a different set of rules. I'm taking the profits off the table, and I'm only, going to go for a certain dollar amount per day on that account and just continue to let it build. Once it gets to a point where I can have a little bit more wiggle room, then I'll start going up on the contracts and really start working on those building up my prop firm account. The other thing is, like, whenever you first open up your prop firm account, you can only take out 500 at a time. The 500 the first payment, and then the next 6 payments after that, you can only take out 2 grand at a time. You have to go through 8 trading days of being consistent with following all the rules in order to request a payout. So just keep that in mind. Don't rush to get a payout. Don't rush to build the account. Just stay consistent. If the dollar amount, if making just $500 a day bothers you, like I said, stack your accounts. All right, stack your accounts. Get you a Forex account set up. Get you some more TradeOvano, some more Apex accounts, and stack those up, and then you can use something like Pick My Trade to copy your trades over into the other accounts. That way, you're making more than 500 a day. Like today, if I had 10 accounts stacked, I would have made 5 grand. And I think that would satisfy a lot of people going forward. But anyways, hope you guys like this training. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions going forward. And I look forward to seeing you in the classes. There's 3 levels to join my Telegram group. The $26 level, which is the Cosmic Alignment Blueprint. It has all the blueprints in there. The sports bets, the meme coins, the Forex trading, the futures trading, they're all in there. We have the $88 level, which is the accelerator program that teaches you how to market yourself, as well as you get this indicator that I'm using right now, which is something I created just for the sole purpose of trading having something unique for our team or for people to realize what hour is. The planetary hour. We got like a Ikamochi cloud type of deal right here, and yeah. So yeah, and then I have the master class, which is you'll get all the recordings. Like I did a recording here for YouTube, but whenever I trade, I actually record my tradings and I put it into the file, and then also you have a live class with me 3 times a week where I get to answer, answer any of your questions, and sometimes I trade live. It just depends on when it's time for me to trade. If I have a signal for the time that I need to be, on the call, which is at 9 a.m. CST. Okay, so 9 a.m. CST, I get on these live calls and I answer any questions. We'll go over planetary alignment, moon phases, and the psychology behind it all, and how it plays out in trading, how to do back testing. So any type of major events that happen, how to back test it to understand what caused it astrologically. So you can map out first. You can map back test and see what days align with that same energy and that same moon phase, multiple events in the past, and then you can finally map out the future based on those events. That way you can catch all those big moves. You can be the guy that had opened up the Bitcoin account and put a bunch of money in there, knowing that the market was going to short and capitalize on it. So you guys take care, and I'll see you on the next one.